Now we have a story you will see only on 10 TV. If you are a registered voter in Ohio, your voter registration data is now in the hands of the U.S. Department of Justice. Secretary of State's office recently complied with a request from the DOJ to provide the information. DOJ says its intent is to assess Ohio's compliance with federal election law. 10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash talked with Secretary of State Frank LaRose about that. Doug, what did the Secretary say about providing that information?
Well, Jeff, I talked with Secretary LaRose here at his office. He tells me that he's following federal law by providing the information, and he says it's the right thing to do. Voter advocates have their concerns.
In a letter dated February 13th, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose notified the U.S. Department of Justice that his office was providing the DOJ with the voter registration data of Ohio's nearly 8 million voters.
Ohio's voter registration.
In an interview you'll see only on 10 TV, LaRose says the move complies with federal law, specifically the Voting Rights Act and National Voter Registration Act.
A part of that, it says very plainly in there that states must make available for inspection to the Attorney General or anybody else enforcing the law what those records are.
LaRose says the Department of Justice is suing states that don't comply. The voter information provided includes name, address, date of birth, the last 4 digits of the voter's social security number, and their driver's license number. LaRose says he is confident the information is secure.
The federal government is bound by data privacy laws that are pretty ironclad. And if any federal official, somebody working within the bureaucracy of the Department of Justice violated those data privacy laws, they would face criminal liability for doing so.
Steve David with All Voting is Local has concerns about the security of the voter information and about federal government overreach by the Trump administration.
States run elections here in the United States, but we are seeing a regime that is intent on finding ways to interfere with this process, to seize more power, to control elections.
How does it make you feel that the federal government is requesting this information to kind of double check your work?
I think that they're doing their jobs, right? They're doing their jobs under the Help America Vote Act and under the National Voter Registration Act to make sure, instead of me just telling them, right, to make sure. It's that whole trust but verify thing.
So, Doug, it's all come to this point right now. What's the follow-up, though? Where does it go from here?
I asked Secretary LaRose about that, Jeff, and he tells me that he's going to wait and see if he's going to hear from the DOJ. And if the DOJ does bring up any concerns about the information that Ohio provided, then the two sides will have a discussion about that and figure out the next steps. Jeff?
Doug Petcash reporting live for us tonight. Doug, thank you.